This is George Dionne of the Rock is George podcast, and this is a KNAC.com exclusive interview with vocalist Brendan Shane of the gothic hard rock act, The Nocturnal Affair. Today we're talking about your latest single, Deep, which was released on January 19th, 2026. You've described this song as an ode to mental health. Could you expand a little bit upon that?
Yeah, this song was kind of there for me before I really started my journey with therapy, which I highly recommend to anybody that is kind of just going through the day-to-day, even feeling like they can't even get through that. I think therapy is fantastic, but at the time, it was during the pandemic. Everything was shut down. Everybody had their own little pods, but I was taking care of somebody who was very high risk, so I didn't see a lot of people. So through that, I kind of had to find a way to get my emotions out, get the poison out, really, and move forward. And that's what Deep became.
Now, even though this song is a journey through some down times, there is some hope and salvation at the end, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And for you, was that therapy?
It was it was a lot of things, and it's ever changing with the song, because originally the salvation was just getting the words out of my head onto some paper, into some music, and that was that, and that was years ago. And then it was, okay, we're going to go to the studio. This is actually going to be a song for Nocturnal, and I kind of had to relive it. It was a bit cathartic, but it was still therapeutic, and it helped me get over some other things. And now what it's become is other people are relating, and I'm finding a lot of similarities with things that other people have gone through, especially during those times. And the people they lost, the friends that they don't see anymore, the parents that they don't get to talk to anymore because they lost them during the pandemic as well. So it's brought me closer to a lot of those I didn't know it would.
Was it difficult for you as a musician to kind of be in possession of this song and having to wait 4 years or so to finally release it?
Yes and no. When I do make music, I do get excited to release it and show friends and family and fans. But at the same time, originally I didn't think Deep was going to be for Nocturnal. I kind of just wrote it, to get it out. And it had to have been 2 years ago now. I was hanging out with my management, and they're like, "You have any just demos hiding in the shadows?" And I was like, "What do you think of this one?" And I was thinking they were going to be like, "That's cute. It's a soft piano ballad." And my manager Mark was like, "Where the hell has this song been all my life?" And so he kind of took it under his wing, and he's the one who had the idea to throw the full blown orchestra behind me, throughout the song. We added a third verse. There were so many things he was changing and helping the song, just bringing the best out of me. That we recorded it in Vegas. Parts of it were recorded in Arizona. A lot of it was recorded in the UK when we were on tour, and it was a journey.
You have a music video out for Deep. It also features Lisa Foiles, who is former child actress on Nickelodeon's All That. She's a current video game journalist, podcaster, and a rock star herself. How did you get Lisa involved in this video?
Lisa and I became friends through another musician in Las Vegas. She was singing for their band, and I ended up filling in on rhythm guitar for a Halloween show years ago. And I really hit it off with her and her husband. They've both become two of my best friends in the whole world. And when I introduced them to the team, and Mark saw the chemistry of just how me and Lisa mess with each other, we break each other's balls so much when we're around each other. He was like, "She's perfect for the video. You'll work very easily with her," because I'm not an actor. She's an actor. I'm not. I'm a musician. And he was like, she's perfect. So he had come up with this 3 music video trilogy, and he was like, "You're just gonna have to trust the process because it's all in front of green screen, and let's get Lisa involved." And so it was just absolute blast.
And you've appeared on her social medias as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, I've done a few podcasts. I actually just wrapped one up the other day that should be coming out soon.
Deep is the final chapter in a trilogy of songs by the Nocturnal Affair. It started off with Cross Me Out in 2024, Benefit of the Doubt in 2025. How do these three songs connect together?
Video wise, I mean, there's that whole story that unfolds right in front of you. Sorry, apologies for the squeaking. I've got a cute dog in the background going to town on its toy. I'm a big dog person. So Cross Me Out kind of came to be after some people that I used to know said some really messed up things about me online. And Benefit of Doubt kind of became the caricaturized version of my pride and full-blown denial of nothing is my fault, it's all their fault, which surprisingly enough fit very well like a puzzle piece into Deep of you have to look at yourself in the mirror now and go, there are times in life where you do mess up and you have to face it if you want to move on and become a better person. And that's exactly what I went through with those other two songs. Like, I feel like I'm not even the guy that wrote those two songs anymore. I feel like I've grown so much, whether it's through therapy, through just life experience. And it's only been a few years. It's wild. But Deep kind of ended up being that kind of last moment where you go like, oh, it's, people can do whatever they want, but it's not their fault that I'm like this. I have to look at myself and go, what do I need to change to be better?
It's funny you say you're a dog person, because most of the hard rock and metal guys I talk to are cat people, and it's their cats that are interrupting the interview.
Yeah, I do love cats as well. But my girlfriend owns a few dogs that have adopted me. So they're my best friends now.
What kind of dogs are they?
English Springer Spaniels.
Oh, they're cute little dogs. Smart, too.
Oh, they're extremely smart. Yeah.
Cats are dumb.
I don't know. I don't know if they're dumb or if they're so smart they're convincing us that they're dumb so they can scheme and get whatever they want out of us.
Fair enough. I have 3 cats. I stumbled across a cover song by the Nocturnal Affair, What Is Love, originally done by HADDAWay. It's a lot more melancholy and darker than the original song. How did you come to record and release this one?
It actually was an idea from our old guitar player, Andy. We were getting ready to play one of the earlier Chris Jericho's Jericho Rock and Wrestling Cruises. And we needed like a party song. We needed some covers that were going to excite the people that didn't really know us yet, but we could still get them jumping around on the boat and, drinking and having a good time. And I mean, everybody knows What Is Love. But when he presented it to us originally, myself and the rest of the band were kind of like, no, what? That's not our vibe. Like, we're the Nocturnal Affair. My old bass player was like, we need to be covering like some Tool or Marilyn Manson or something like that. Some, 9 Inch Nails. And Andy presented us with a version that kind of blew my mind. And it was the earlier version of what eventually became what we do now. And we played it live and the boat went crazy. Like, people were jumping and screaming. And next thing I knew, I'm looking out and I'm like, I've never met any of these people before. And they're all singing with me. We're all connecting. And when we got off stage, we were suddenly friends with everyone. And I was like, that's magic. And our management saw that and they're like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. So then they kind of took it under their wing, kind of like how Mark did with Deep, and created a Frankenstein's monster version of the song, got it radio ready, and now it is what it is. And it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And I'm so grateful for it.
Ironically, that's how Chris Jericho started in the music business, doing covers, and now Fozzy is like this gigantic entity.
Ozzy Osbourne, right? Yeah.
The release of Deep also marks a kickoff for 6 upcoming singles by the Nocturnal Affair, scheduled for release throughout 2026. When is the next single planned for release, and what can you tell me about it?
I cannot disclose that information at this time, so I am using my right to invoke the Fifth Amendment to not incriminate myself or the party around me. I can tell you it's going to be heavier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be a piano ballad.
So, so would you say that the trilogy of songs that we've discussed so far, Deep, Cross Me Out, Benefit of the Doubt, is kind of encompasses the sound that the Nocturnal Affair is about going forward?
It's funny you say that because I have been telling people that this trilogy is kind of given an image of almost a place in time of what our sound was in that moment. But time has passed, and I've grown as a songwriter, and I'm working with some pretty cool people also, and we are starting to evolve. We're starting to change in the best way, I believe. And so, yeah, so that trilogy is kind of, like I said, a place in time of what we once were. We still are at our core, sure, but what's coming is definitely next level.
That was your Skywalker era. We're going into the Ray era.
I don't know if I can do that. I'd say that was our Plagueis era. We're moving into our Sidious era. Yeah.
Fair, fair. Are you going to stick with releasing singles, or eventually these 6 singles that you have planned are going to make up a full album?
You know, I don't know. And I don't think the rest of the team does, solely because the industry is always changing. If this was a few years ago, I'd be like, I'm working on this brand new record. But now people don't release records. People release, oh, hey, buddy. People release singles, they release videos. I remember when nobody was releasing music videos and it was just lyric videos, or when Sleep Token first came out, it was their sigil and some visuals in the background and their song, and that was it. You know what I mean? So really, it's wherever the wind takes us as far as what works in the industry, the best way to get our product to our listener, because, you know, we don't want to get in our own way when it comes to that.
The Nocturnal Affair releases their music through Madison Records. Is that your own label?
That would be my management's label in Atlanta.
Okay.
Which has one of the coolest recording studios I've ever seen.
Since you're taking this single route, I don't imagine that there will be any physical copies of your music going forward like there was for Morphosis?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. I gotcha.
Yeah, Metamorphosis. I would like there to be, but it really just depends on, you know, demand, right? In America, a lot of people don't want physical copies of CDs. I would love to work out something with vinyl. UK is different. You know, when we released Metamorphosis years ago, we had stacks of CDs. We played shows around the country. These were packed shows. We were out there with Fozzy. Jericho was filling houses all over the country. We were very, very lucky to have that experience. Everybody bought shirts, beanies, underwear. Nobody bought CDs. And so we're like, oh, well, I guess that's not the way to go. And we might as well bring them to the UK, though. And we brought them to our first UK tour. And in the first few days, gone. Poof, done. And they're like, we need more CDs. It's just a different realm. So maybe when we go overseas, yeah, probably CDs, but I don't, until America shows any type of want for that, probably not.
I think the US is slowly waking up to how digital media and streaming has become. Like, your favorite album isn't always going to be available. It may disappear, or if it's new, they may edit it on the fly. So I think that the demand for physical media right now, vinyl, but I think they'll start pushing CDs again.
That'd be nice. That'd be really cool, because I miss it. Like, I miss getting that fresh, brand new CD from either FYE or Tower Records or, you know, Zia Records out here in Vegas. And it's just, there's something exciting about, you know, it's a little difficult to open the plastic, and it's just like, it's this, I don't know. I love that stuff. but maybe I'm dating myself.
Is the Nocturnal Affair a band or more of a solo vehicle for you?
I would say that there are multiple sides of the Nocturnal Affair. I would say the Nocturnal Affair is a conglomeration um, of different people working together. As far as, because there's like what the crowd sees when we play live is the band, right? What they don't see is when I go write music, it's me and my producer. And then what the band doesn't see is the extremely hard work that my management team, that Mark, Rick, Randy, everybody behind us puts in every single day so we can get the opportunities that we get. So to me, the Nocturnal Affair isn't just one answer. Like my pride wants to go, I am the Nocturnal Affair, but that's not true because I would be nothing without my band and without my management team. So it's like this unholy trinity that works together.
When did the Nocturnal Affair first come together and under what circumstances?
We were originally a parody goth rock band that was anonymous called the FOILES. And I was part of this other metal band in Las Vegas, and we were a full-blown democracy. It was, everyone is equal. Everybody has a voice. Everybody writes the same thing. And that can work, not when you're young. It does for some bands, right? Once in a blue moon. But, it just turns into a pissing contest. So I had started something where I could just be the dictator and write everything and record everything and just find friends or musicians that wanted to go on this journey with me. And so I would put on this half mask and a hood and a black wig and Ozzy Osbourne round sunglasses. And we'd go and play shows completely anonymous. And we played in front of a packed house at the House of Blues in Vegas. And we were bum rushed when we got off stage for merch, CDs, etc. And I was like, oh, this could be something. So I found some early management and they were like, you have to change the name because there's 15 other bands in America called The FOILES. Take yourselves a little bit more seriously. And so, of course, I called it the Nocturnal Affair, which is a play on my metal band walking into the rehearsal space that we shared to be rehearsing with Nocturnal. And like, I hadn't told them that we had started doing more stuff because I used my metal band for the packed out show at House of Blues. And when I did that, they were like, why doesn't our metal project get opportunities like this? I don't understand. So then I was like, all right, I found other band members. They walk in on me. It's like I'm being caught cheating. It's the Nocturnal Affair. So.
Must be the mailman outside that your dog's getting mad at.
That is a neighbor's dog. They're just loud. Yeah.
I got the same neighbor, I think, here in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. What part of Massachusetts are you in?
I'm in America's hometown, Plymouth.
Hey, I was born in Newton.
Newton. Okay.
I've got family all over the place out there. I guess I'm not going to name the little towns because maybe they'll feel weird about it. But yeah, I'm also from Boston. So.
And you lost the accent. Congratulations.
Because I'm wicked smart, dude. Know how to hide a kid.
So you mentioned a lot about your management being integral, important in your career.
Yes.
But I also saw that John Moyer of Disturbed might have had something to do with the Nocturnal Affair.
Yes, in the sense of bringing us to our management team and who they are now. He discovered us. So I mentioned the previous metal band that I was in before Nocturnal. That's how I met John. John was childhood friends with my old drummer's uncle. And just we'd written a record, and it's somewhere floating around there on Spotify too. And John came in and he produced it. We produced it with Rob Katz, who, funnily enough, we are working on our new stuff with again, and it's been over a decade. We started working with Rob Katz at Studio Inside the Palms when that was a thing. That's like the big studio that, birthed Imagine Dragons and the Killers out of Vegas. They've also done Journey, Elton John, John Legend. While we were working there, the other studio was working with Boys to Men, which was wild. And we dropped this EP that for the time, was pretty awesome. And I regret us not having a team to get behind it, because it's like every band thinks if you build it, they will come. If you get the best sounding EP, go work with the Churkos, go work with Wizard Blood, go work with whatever, the biggest names, and then you don't got to do anything, right? And that's not how it works. You have to have a team behind you. You have to have a medium to release the music. You have to have a budget for radio. And but we just had this awesome EP that we spent all this money on. And John was like, well, I'm the producer. This is about as far as I could go, literally. Like, I'm not a manager. I'm not a radio guy. Like, I can help you, but it's like, it's up to you guys. And that's kind of just where it's sat. And we all kind of ate each other alive with ego, because we were like, well, it's your fault that we're not doing it. We got to do this, we got to do that, which is what I got really just tired of it and started the Nocturnal Affair and was like, I'm going to do things how I want to do things. But I started sending John these demos about 6-7 years ago. And it was the demos that eventually became Metamorphosis. And he was like, what is this? This is great. I know exactly who this needs to go to. And so we started working with Logan Mader, who just made us sound huge on that record. And so it was me, John, Logan doing that. And then he kind of introduced us to everybody else we've come to know.
Awesome. Does the Nocturnal Affair have any live performances planned for this year?
We do. We have a tour coming up in spring. And I'm sure as we get details, as will you. We are playing Happens Las Vegas next Friday. I don't know how anybody else can get involved. I know it's a private radio convention, but you can buy tickets. They are not cheap. So good luck, anyone who wants to do that.
They got to circumvent all the money that they're losing through radio. The Nocturnal Affair did tour the UK, opening up for Wednesday 13 last year. How did that go?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It wasn't just Wednesday 13 too. We started with Wednesday 13 and then met up with Drowning Pool and toured Europe with Drowning Pool. And Wednesday 13 is like, I've got him up there with Chris Jericho. Like, Chris Jericho nonstop works. Amazing. Wednesday is the same way. Like, that guy is always killing it, always working, always touring. And his team is just so nice, so chill. Like, we've been very lucky to get the tours that we've been getting. Like, Fozzy is amazing. Wednesday 13 is amazing. And then Drowning Pool was a dream. Like, those guys are so cool, so professional, so respectful, even though we were the new guys. You know what I mean? They were just so kind to us. So, yeah, it's great.
I saw that you have shared the stage with Three Doors Down at some point in your career. A couple weeks back, frontman Brad Arnold lost his fight with cancer. Did you know him personally or have a chance to hang out with him briefly at some point? Unfortunately, we didn't. And I had been listening to those guys since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I still listen to those guys, and I will continue to. It's a tragedy, man. He was young. He was way too young. And we played with them for our first festival we ever played, and it was in Vegas. And I believe it was when we were still the Feels. We might have just become the Nocturnal Affair. It was 2017. So we had become the Nocturnal Affair, and it was that summer because it was Scars and Stripes. I believe that was the name of the festival. It was in downtown Las Vegas. Festival grounds. Yeah. So it had to have been July 2017. So we'd actually share the stage with Three Doors Down. Pop Evil played that night. Hell Yeah played that night. Adam Gontier. It was Asking Alexandria played. It was a phenomenal lineup. It was really fun. And Three Doors Down killed it. And I really wish we had gotten to meet them. I got to see them back in their heyday, and they like around the Kryptonite album, and I think the album that followed, and it just awesome band. It was weird because they were trying to make them like this this big, huge thing, giving them fireworks and flames and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not sure they're that kind of band where they need flames and these big booms on stage.
like Nickelback with the explosions. I remember when they had a residency in Vegas and we went and saw them. And after every song, it was like boom, boom. Everyone was just like, "What is happening? Why?"
It was the same thing with Doors Down. He's singing, you know, Here Without You, and it's a ballad, and things are blowing up. I'm like, what is happening here?
Brings a different meaning to the song.
It does, absolutely.
He's burning the place down. He's here without her.
Brendan, do you work on any other music projects when you don't have all guns blazing on the Nocturnal Affair?
If I'm offered like some type of collaboration and it works, it makes sense, sure. I mean, I would love to see something really happen with Lisa Foiles. She's got a great voice. She's a great performer. And then, you know, there's a few other things I would like to have fun with, but the Nocturnal Affair is my baby. It's all I think about when I wake up and go to bed, and it's like it's consumed me. I've become it. It's become me, and I love it.
Lisa has a cover band, right? It's called Radical West.
I believe so. She plays with them.
Okay.
But herself kind of just has this ability to go, hey, I'm thinking about playing this show in Las Vegas, and musicians just, of course they do. You know what I mean? She's extremely talented. So I know she's absolutely rocked Fremont Street with Radical West. It's been awesome seeing her do that. But I also saw her play this awesome like country club for New Year's, and she's constantly busy. She ran this punk rock karaoke for the Triple Down at the Punk Rock Museum, and just like brings tons of people every week to that. She's always working and always killing it. Yeah.
Well, Brendan, those are all the questions I have for you today. The new Nocturnal Affair single is Deep. It's out now through Madison Records. You have 5 more singles planned for the rest of the year, and can't wait to hear them based on what I've heard so far. And I want to thank you for telling me more about the Nocturnal Affair today.
Thank you for having me.